Hi everyone, welcome back. It's my first video since coming back from Greece. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a bit of a funk creatively and I'm looking at it now. I've done the cliche thing, I've got the artist way in front of me and I'm just gonna read that. I'm just in a bit of a funk creatively. I'm actually alright, I'm like fine, coming back from holiday, but yeah, just a bit of a creative funk. It's a bit like going to the gym. When you film videos, it's a bit like going to the gym. If you don't do it for a while, then you don't want to do it. So you just have to just do it and get on with it. Something did actually happen that I thought, yeah, I've got to vlog this. I've got to talk about it for the people that watch my videos. I kind of met someone in a way, and if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I'm not too fussed with dating at the moment. I go through phases, but I really wanted to try. And the week before, I kind of met someone. It's a bit weird because I always follow this formula, and I've been following this formula for years that I use to get a date, and it always works. It never fails. So the formula I use when I'm in the mindset of dating, I always use this. So I always chat to someone for a week, and then if they haven't asked me out, I just leave it, I move on, I match them because they're not going to ask me out. They're either married or they're just a talker or they're literally just wasting my time. So I chat for a week, and then after a week, I always move it on to a phone call, because if I don't know this person, if I've literally met them on a dating app, you don't know if you like someone until you have that phone conversation with them, and then you can appreciate someone's sense of humour, you can see if it's awkward, you can see if there's any gaps in conversation. And trust me, this is the number one way to wheedle out the people that aren't interested, because so many men do not want to get onto the phone and have a phone conversation. And it literally stops you wasting so much time. And I started doing it, oh God, maybe a while ago. Maybe like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, like a long time ago. I always moved it to a phone call because it would just wheedle out all these people that weren't interested. So that is the second part of the formula, because then you get to see if you have a rapport with someone and then you don't waste time on a date. And then the third part of the formula I use is the WhatsApp call, the FaceTime call, any type of call where you can actually physically see the person. I guess it's a bit like a screening process. You use the kind of the chatting on the Tinder app as a kind of the interview process. You know, what jobs you do, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then you move it on to the phone call for the personality test. And then once you've gone through the personality test to see if you vibe, then you move it through to the FaceTime. And the FaceTime is almost like the last chance. It's the last chance for you both to see if there is a physical attraction. And I think you possibly can switch it up and go straight to the FaceTime call, but the straight up FaceTime call is really daunting for a lot of people. I mean, my situation's different because I kind of talk on camera for a living, so I'm quite a confident person. Getting on a FaceTime doesn't really faze me. But I have to put myself into the mindset of other people that don't do what I do, and they are genuinely terrified by the idea of a FaceTime straight away with someone. That's why I give people the chance. I give them the chance to break the ice during an initial phone call, and then I move it on to the FaceTime so we can both check each other out. We can both check if there's a physical connection. And that way, I've been doing that for years, and it's never let me down. I've always, when I go on a date, I always think, oh, I've put the measures in place. And then the date is usually okay. Even if I feel after the date, this person isn't for me, it's usually an enjoyable experience because I've put the barriers in place to make the date an okay date. And that's the formula I always use. But for this time, I couldn't use the formula. Something went slightly awry. So basically, we were talking for a week and then I was going to Greece. I thought to myself, I could either just not talk to this person for a week, or I could just extend the talking period. And I was still talking to this person. The Wi-Fi at the hotel was pretty bad, so it was limited connection. It was maybe one text or so per day. So it wasn't like I just ruined my holiday and just sat by the pool texting this man fervently. I literally got on with my holiday and had a great time. But there was always that in the back of my mind, like at the end of the night, just checking in with this person, seeing how they were doing. So I did that. So I had 2 weeks of getting to know this person. And I think this was the wrong move because like if you watched my videos before, I'm avoidant as fuck. I don't get close to people, don't let people in because I've been hurt so much. But this was probably one of the first people where I really let my guard down, and I let my guard down for the first time in a while with this person. And it was kind of a mistake. So it just so happened that when I was going away for a week, I was coming back to the UK and then he was going away for a week. So I was like, oh no, we're just extending this talking period for 3 weeks. This is not following the formula. This is not going to work. Your tried and tested formula is not going to work. There was nothing I could do. And we're just chatting for a little while. And then I said to him, do you want to move? Can we move this through to a phone call? And then straight away in my gut, I felt like it was the wrong move. I felt like he wasn't on the same page. And I didn't get a message throughout the rest of the night. And at that point, I knew he's gone. Done dating along the water. I've done dating enough times that I know this is going to be the point where he runs. And he didn't reply. And then I got a message in the morning saying, I've deleted it, so I can't remember exactly, but paraphrase was like, I'm really sorry. I thought I was ready to date and meet people, but I'm not. Sorry for wasting your time. And that was it. And at this point, I swear steam was coming out of my ears because I was so angry, and I've had to check myself a bit and think, look, it's not the end of the world. You wasted 2 weeks getting to know someone. It's not as if you had sex with them. It's not the end of the world. It's just how it is. Pick yourself up and move on. I'm just annoyed with myself because I went off the formula. I went off the formula that I always do, the tried and tested formula I always do of a week of talking, the phone call, the FaceTime, and then going on the date. And I extended the talking phase, and I'm just angry with myself that I did that. Because I got stuck with someone that was emotionally unavailable and not over their ex. And I always ask a guy when their last relationship was and how long it is. Because it's a crucial sign of whether a guy is emotionally available or not. And when he said to me, oh, I got out of a 6-year relationship a year ago, I knew then 6 years is a long time. And I always tend to get stuck. I don't know why. I always attract the commitment phobes. The last guy I went on a date with, he was with someone for 7 years and had just split up with them. And this guy now, he had split up with someone for 6 years. And he wasn't ready. He wasn't going to communicate that through a text that he wasn't ready. He wasn't going to be honest with me and say, look, I'm just not over my ex. So he made up this, I'm not ready. But I'm sorry, this is probably an unpopular take, but if a guy's been with you for like 6 and 7 years and he hasn't married you, he's not going to marry you. Like, I'm really sorry if that hurts your feelings, but these guys just showed that. 6, 7 years with women that they didn't marry, and they're now on Tinder. So I knew that this person wasn't ready, and I was just pissed off that I'd let my guard down, because I see all over the internet, you know, vulnerability is the key, be vulnerable, that's the only way, but vulnerability has never worked for me, ever. Every time I've been vulnerable with a man, they have run the other way. So that's literally why I don't follow dating advice now, because vulnerability does not work for me. Every time I let a guy in, they run away or like make an excuse. So what does that do to an avoidant person? It just puts the barriers right back up. Like, all the work I've done to be, you know, emotionally open, etc., being loving and kind, what has this experience done? It's literally just put the drawbridge straight back up, where I don't want to open up to anyone ever again. But it was the first time, probably in my life, where I sat back and I didn't try and salvage the situation. I didn't try and chase that man down. I didn't try and get him to change his mind. I just deleted his phone number and moved on, and yeah, did the usual things, story times for money. I don't know, maybe I'm just in a grumpy mood because I'm now back in the UK and it's raining and freezing and I've been used to just swimming in the sea. Maybe that's kind of skewing my feelings slightly. It's really made me think, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with men. Why would you talk to a woman for 2 weeks and I don't know. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he thought he was ready, and when presented with a woman that's confident and knows what they want, sometimes men are scared of that. And it's been honestly my life's work to try and find a man that is comfortable with me as a person, that isn't intimidated by me, that isn't going to put a dim on my light. It's honestly been my life's work, and that's why I try so hard to get into circles where they appreciate me, because a lot of men honestly don't. And I didn't even show my channel because I know that that's a bad move, showing my channel, so I just didn't even show my channel. So it wasn't even that as an excuse, but he literally pulled back. And it was maybe one of the first times where I thought, I've literally done nothing wrong. I've literally done nothing wrong. I've been myself, I've been open, honest, and he didn't want to meet me. It's not as if he just didn't want to do the phone call, because some guys just are generally scared of the phone, but a type of guy that is scared to go on the phone is not the type of guy for me. I don't want a shy guy that's scared. I want someone that is emotionally available, that will speak on the phone, that is in touch with their emotions. So I want someone that can speak on the phone. They don't have to be like fucking TED talker like all around the world, but they just have to be someone that can hold a conversation and speak on the phone. And this guy wouldn't even do that, so I knew it wasn't for me. But it's like, how many times do I have to be vulnerable and then it just get thrown back in my face? I have this theory. I think that when all men come out of a long-term relationship, we should literally just put them on an island where they can't harm other women, and they're only allowed to come off the island when they are healed and they are ready to be integrated back into society. So they just can't harm any women. They're not allowed on any dating apps. They're not allowed on any dating apps to hurt women. They're not allowed on any apps to just mess women around. They're not allowed to, like this man did, put long-term partner on their bio and then suddenly turn around and not want to meet someone. This is what frustrates me, because A, he had long-term partner on his profile. B, he messaged him first, because I never message men first on Tinder. The way I see it on Tinder, you're giving men an oven, you're giving them a chicken, and if they're not cooking the chicken, then what is the point? You're literally giving men everything they need, and if they don't message you, then what is the point? What is the point of you messaging a man? Because you will just end up in this exact same situation. But it'll be something that you've done, the making of your own downfall. Whereas this man was approaching me. This man was messaging me. I actually thought this man was different. He was so sweet and he was so kind. And he would message me every morning, asking me how I was, asking me how I slept. He would exhibit all the green flags that all these gurus tell you. And he would say things he'd done, like he'd taken his niece somewhere that day. And he was a really kind man, but you can't go on the little things like that, because men just do this, they just do a 180. It's something that only females understand. Men will never understand the female experience. And this is sadly the female experience where men do this to you. They will sell you down the river and then they just pull back. And it's sadly, it's just the female experience. Women don't do this to men. Women don't do this to men where they put in 2 weeks' time and then say nah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just pissed by the situation, and I feel like, when is it going to be my turn? Like, when am I actually going to meet a man that is emotionally available? Probably not on a dating app. The men on the oh god, I've said this like 1,000 times before. Men on dating apps just want sex. It's what do you do, girls, when all men are like this? And I just feel, I don't know, maybe I'm just having a really bad day, but I just feel like all men are like this. I don't even feel like it's just some men. It just feels like this happens all the time with men. They just literally pull away, and I haven't done anything wrong. All I want is to go on a date, and they just literally pull away. Well, it's like, why waste 2 weeks speaking to me if you didn't want to go on a date? You should have thought about that before you got emotionally invested with someone. So this is why you have to meet sooner or later, because men will do this. Men will waste your time, and they don't get as emotionally invested as quickly as women do. And I let my guard down, and I'm pissed that I let my guard down, because the only way you fall in love is to let your guard down. And it seems like whenever I let my guard down, let someone in, let someone get close to me, then they run away. And it's always the nice guys. It's the guys you think, oh, the nice guy won't hurt me. Well, I've dated loads of different men and they all seem to hurt you in the end. Like, even the nice guys. Like, I've dated the finance bros. I've dated the finance bros with their gilets, and they're exactly the same. Even the nice guys fuck you over.